Australians, hold on to your seats, because the scenes unfolding in Canberra on August 31, 2025, at the March for Australia rally weren't just another gathering of discontented voices. They marked a raw, unfiltered pulse of national frustration, where everyday folks from all walks of life converged on the capital's lawns, Australian flags fluttering like a sea of red, white, and blue defiance. At the heart of it all stood Pauline Hanson, the One Nation leader, microphone in hand, delivering a fiery takedown of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's policies that echoed through the crowd like thunder. But this wasn't scripted drama, it was real people venting real grievances about skyrocketing migration numbers, strained housing markets, and a cost-of-living crisis that's squeezing families from Sydney to the outback. Hanson didn't mince words, painting Albanese's government as out of touch, prioritizing global agendas over local needs, and failing to address the infrastructure buckling under the weight of rapid population growth. The rally, attended by thousands including families, migrants waving the Aussie flag with pride, and even a few politicians like Bob Katter, turned into a chorus of chants demanding change, yet it wasn't without its shadows, as reports trickled in of far-right elements mingling in the fringes, adding a layer of controversy that the media couldn't ignore. Let's rewind a bit to set the stage properly. In the lead-up, whispers of tension bubbled up, organizers faced scrutiny over potential extremist infiltrations, and police were on high alert, but the event unfolded largely peacefully, with no major incidents reported. Hanson, ever the provocateur, ignored any naysayers and took the stage, her speech a masterclass in rallying the base. She hammered home points on how unchecked immigration is overwhelming schools, hospitals, and roads, while everyday Aussies foot the bill through higher rents and energy costs. Drawing parallels to past flashpoints like the Voice referendum, she accused the Labour government of betraying the suburbs, where trust in politicians has eroded like sandcastles at high tide. The crowd's roar was electric, a collective exhale of pent-up anger, but it also sparked immediate backlash. Mainstream outlets, from The Guardian to SBS, highlighted the presence of neo-Nazis and divisive rhetoric, branding parts of the rally as hateful. Albanese himself condemned it, calling out the far-right undertones and urging unity over division. Meanwhile, pro-Palestinian marches in recent months have drawn their own share of criticism for disruptions, yet they've often been framed differently in the public eye, fueling debates about media bias and government priorities. It's a stark reminder of how polarized our national conversation has become, where one side sees patriotism and the other sees exclusion. But here's where the story gets even more compelling: the aftermath is already rippling outward like shockwaves from an epicenter. Sources close to One Nation report a surge in memberships, with thousands signing up in the days following, signaling a potential grassroots swell that could reshape the political landscape. Labour insiders, speaking off the record, admit to jitters. Suburban seats that once felt secure now buzz with discontent, as voters grapple with inflation and housing shortages. Hanson isn't letting up, she's teasing more rallies, vowing to keep the pressure on Albanese's leadership until real reforms hit the table. Imagine this, a movement born not from hate, but from a deep-seated sense of betrayal, where ordinary mums, dads, and workers feel sidelined by policies that seem to favor international optics over domestic realities. It's not about waving goodbye to those who don't love the country, as Hanson quipped in her trademark style. It's about demanding accountability, transparency, and a government that listens without the spin. To tie it all together, let's summarize the viral video that's been lighting up the internet, the one capturing Hanson's live evisceration of Albanese at the rally. Clocking in at around 5 minutes, it's a high-energy montage narrated with dramatic flair, starting with crowd shots and Hanson's flag-waving entrance, then diving into her accusations of government betrayal via mass migration and economic woes. It claims insider leaks about pre-rally warnings and media smears, positioning the event as a suppressed uprising against a controlling elite. While the video amps up the conspiracy vibes for clicks, alleging confidential docs and political earthquakes, it glosses over the rally's controversial elements, like the neo-Nazi presence, and misspells names for added sensationalism. Ultimately, It's a biased hype piece that rallies the anti-establishment crowd but skimps on balanced facts, turning a legitimate protest into tabloid fodder. In the end, Australians, this rally isn't the endgame, it's a wake-up call. Whether you see it as a triumph of free speech or a risky flirtation with division, one thing's clear: the divide between Canberra's corridors and the streets is widening. Leaders like Albanese need to bridge it with tangible action, not just words, while figures like Hanson keep fanning the flames of accountability. If this momentum builds, we could be on the cusp of a voter revolt that redefines our democracy. But let's channel that energy constructively, toward policies that unite us, not fracture us further. Because at our core, we're one nation, striving for a fair go for all. What do you think, time for change or steady as she goes?